好吗? Welcome to Los Adam Friedland show. They don't really have, in Chinese, there's not like...
They can say it. They can't say Jordan.
No, but they don't have like a the Adam Friedland show would just be Adam Friedland show.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe the at the end. Adam Friedland show that.
I'm assuming. No, it would have to be you would have to say Adam Friedland show, like spiritual original dragon.
Yeah.
Question? That's other language is constructed. Good afternoon, folks. It is September. It is Wednesday, September 13th. This week we got to do this one a week in advance because I will be out of town, and Adam is out of town as well. Adam is in Greece, where the fuck is the god fucking timer on this fucking thing? I swear to God.
Just go to open your alarm and then you'll accidentally open the timer every time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I do. I always go to the stopwatch is what I need, but I go to the countdown timer by accident.
Every time. I do it on stage every time too. I've handed my phone to audiences and be like,
the clock. One says S, one says T. I don't understand this fucking... Yeah, I'm supposed to know the different types of clocks.
What do you got? That was not a burp. That's not a burp.
Yeah, I know. My gastric system is...
Are you still vegan?
She do it? No, I quit that.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like...
Dying?
Yes.
You were perishing.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, I'll do it. I'll switch back to that when I get cancer.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be one of the guys that's like, no, there's a fruit in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I'm just going to eat that.
You're going to climb to the top.
I'm going to beat this thing by eating bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should be eating more bugs.
I've been jamming incense into my nose and eating bugs. That's how I'm going to beat cancer, by pretending to be in... That was like the move in the 70s. It was like, you got cancer, you went to the doctor. In the 70s, it was like, well, I'll cut you open and just rip shit out.
Or you can eat rocks.
Yeah. Or you can do cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
And that might work. Speaking of cultural appropriation, Mexico doing a little bit of their own cultural appropriation this week.
They're tired of being called aliens.
By getting into UFO stuff.
I heard a Mexican guy on the train just now, and last night I heard like an African guy, like he was like, and he was talking so loud, and I kept looking up for my book and just being like, why is and he would look at me kind of like, what are you looking at? And I was like, is that just what, like if English just sounds like this, like a normal vocal cord range, is African and Mexican? He was like, hey, and I was like, do you just have to, like if he was speaking in a whisper, would it just become a different language?
Well, I would imagine Africa is very loud. So
the guy he's talking to like has his like ears are going back with the frequency of this man's voice. He's like,
oh, they were talking to each other.
Yeah, but one guy was quiet and he wasn't African. Yeah, one guy was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. The other guy was like, and it was like crazy. I mean, it was so, and Mexicans too.
Yeah.
I've had them on job sites and I'm like, the homeowners here, if you could just, and they're like, okay.
Oh, they're loud.
Really loud.
Are Guatemalans quiet?
I've never talked to them. I'm not allowed.
Not allowed, you say. Anyways, so you've done not necessarily a deep dive, but you've looked into this little alien, this Mexican alien.
This little fucker.
I said that. Well, that's what I love about it, is that it's a Mexican version of an alien. That they have an alien, and it's like, if you imagine light years away, that there's alien America, and there's a alien Mexico. Like they somehow found Mexico. It's a little guy.
He's little. Harry texted it to me this morning. You've met Harry.
He's got a Spider-Man backpack from Kmart. Filled with Milwaukee logos.
He has a kid that's as tall as him.
Yeah.
Harry texted me and said they uncovered two little fuckers, and I was like, what? And then I saw the picture. It has to be fake. They look like little sculptures, but
yeah. Well, I mean.
I would do that if I was Mexico. If everybody was like, "You're aliens, you're aliens."
It's some kind of fossilized thing, but like,
I think they made it recently, and they gave it a shroud. Because all of the stuff I've read, there's nobody being like, we dated the skin,
I briefly read that they did do radiocarbon dating on it.
and it went back 1,000. But what if that's just what little Mexicans look like?
I don't think.
I was saying it was a baby, and then somebody's like, it's pregnant.
Well, I would assume that it's just a doll or a sculpture or something that was made out of some kind of
Old stuff.
material that like I don't know. I mean, I would imagine when things are fossilized, it loses some of its everything kind of turns to like ash or dirt anyway.
Yeah.
How do you know? Like, it's probably just a doll, and they're
Yeah.
like, I think Occam's razor here.
Okay.
It's definitely not a fucking alien
It's
from
not.
1700 years ago.
Who looks like every alien we've always,
Yeah, right.
yeah. And has obvious little like sculpture. Like anybody who plays with Sculpey for 5 minutes makes that thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be f***ed up. It would be weird if in our lifetime, that like there's just aliens and they are like they were in the movies and that's all.
That's
real.
why they.
Yeah, and then also like science does the things that are supposed to be impossible. Because it must have been crazy if you like grew up, if you were like 40 years old in like 1905 or whenever the Wright brothers made that stupid fucking plane.
Yeah.
You know, if you were like 40 and you're like, what do you mean we can fly?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Well, that's how I feel about the watch. When I was little, I had an imaginary computer watch that I would hit and be like beep, 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 boop, boop.
Yeah.
And now it just is something that we have.
Right. I remember as a kid, they would say that they're like, eventually a computer's going to be so small you can wear one as a watch. And I
Yeah.
just imagine like a little desktop computer.
Me desktop.
With like a tiny
They should
keyboard
make
I'd have
that.
to use with like a toothpick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't really seem very convenient. And now this thing just pissing me off all the time because
I can't wear those things. I always.
tapped the wrong.
What about when it tells you to breathe? I couldn't get mine to stop doing that.
Oh yeah, no,
When it's like calm down. Like
mine doesn't do that. I think because I do like yoga and stuff.
Really?
So it logs the like mindfulness minutes or something.
It can feel your yoga?
No, you just said I say, hey, I'm doing yoga.
Oh, you're using it how they should be
Yeah,
used.
yeah.
You're a tech guy.
Yeah, where I use the Down Dog app. I'm old now, my joints hurt, so I have to do some kind of like.
Do you do it at your house?
Yeah, I have a yoga mat. I have to stretch or I'm just gonna be hurt. My back up like 3 times a year.
I have to do butt exercises basically every day, or my butt becomes like labia, and then I just lose all strength in the rest of my body.
What do you mean it becomes like labia?
Just withers into
Like a
just nothing.
oh.
Just concave.
So when you say you do butt
Like a pigeon
exercise,
chest, pigeon butt.
you mean like squats? You're doing squats?
So many squats.
Yeah.
Just to give, I need a solid. You know how like,
I hate doing squats.
yeah, they suck. They're the
It's
worst.
Worst exercise.
They hurt.
Yeah.
You know women with like diabetic women who are like big fat hogs on bottom and then they have this like tiny little torso?
Yeah. If you like doing squats, you're either fat or European.
Yes.
Those are
Yeah.
the only people.
Yeah.
You're
I'm trying to get European.
You're either selectively bred by a former Soviet state to squat.
Yeah. Well, every name
have
of a
those
squat
genes.
is like a Russian dead baby.
Oh,
That's the names of them.
RDLs,
What's that?
like
Yeah.
Romanian deadlift.
Yeah.
Or Bulgarian split squats.
Yeah, none of them are like American boy, but
Yeah. Texas style.
Yeah,
squatting.
I don't really like that. But yeah, I got kettlebells, and then I just look up women that are hot and just tell them. They just tell me what to do.
The kettlebells, you do what? Goblet squats.
Goblet, and you do the thing where you like go down and then back up. Feels good.
What's down and back up?
Like you're standing like this, and you're holding it, and you bend, and then lift it back up, and it pulls the back of your
Oh,
hamstrings.
okay. Oh, yeah. So just like RDLs with the kettlebell.
Is that what an RDL is? Oh
Yeah.
yes.
RDLs, you start at the top and you go down to your hamstring stretch and
Yeah.
come back up. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing, my wrists are f***ed up because I've been getting back into handstand push-ups.
Oh,
And it's like,
my roommate does those. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it's just
Do you do it
so
against a
hard.
wall?
Yeah, you can, if the eventual goal is to do them freestanding, you got to like try to get off the wall as soon as possible.
Can you do them? How many are you doing?
Freestanding, I don't know. It's hit and miss. I can do like 1 or 2, but it's the trick with doing them freeze, because if you do them against the wall, like the way they do them in CrossFit, people put their hands real wide and they flare their elbows. And if you practice them that way, you're never going to be able to do like a regular. You have to keep your shoulder blades like
this almost.
So here's your shoulder blades. You got to keep them out like that. So you use your serratus to pull your shoulder blades forward, and then you have to bring your elbows in. And if you do them, I mean, you can do it against the wall this way, but to do them like that will have carryover to freestanding. You got to keep your elbows locked way in, and then the motion is you move like your head forward, so you end up kind of at an.
Are you worried about squinching? If you
What's
hit
that?
if you squinch your head, if you squinch.
Well, you sort of touch you come.
But if you fall?
Touch I ain't gonna fall. Also, I weigh 90 pounds.
Yeah,
If I fall,
yeah.
it's not like a big deal. But I mean, it is like just hard on my wrists at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to do these, they say.
Yeah. I don't really. But that's the thing. You do yoga and it just covers all that.
Yeah, yoga rules. I
Yeah.
used to do Bikram yoga, which I like because every time it was the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. So there wasn't some bitch in there being like, and you know what I thought of? The harvest. Everybody like, you know what I mean? And you're like, I hate
That's
you.
why I use apps because I can't.
Deal with their daily affirmations and shit.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. I'm like, I want to kill myself. That's why I'm here. And you're being
I
like,
thought about the
my mom
harvest.
told me something. And I'm like, your mom's addicted to drugs.
Yeah, your mom's already 3 bottles of wine deep.
Your mom made a yoga instructor who lives in Bed-Stuy. I had one, did I tell you about this? There's this black lady, big black goddessy lady, super hot.
Who now they're the best at yoga.
Yes.
10 years ago, it was like, would you believe they can do yoga too?
Yeah.
And now that's
That's where you go.
That's Mrs. Yoga.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
They're the original pharaohs.
Every single one of them has cancer. They're like, I gotta try something.
This woman smashed her car. She's teaching the class every day, and
Smash
I
your
go.
car into the yoga.
No. I go to her class all the time. I'm listening to her. Yeah.
Ready for some motherfucking yoga.
And then they go in, and she's like, after the class, we talk after. And she, you know, when you're a comedian, people will just, for some reason, just tell you things they should never tell you. Does that happen to you? People will say things to me that I'm like,
You mean like audience, like after a show?
anybody. There's like an open bookish about comedians, like a curiosity.
People really don't talk to me.
Okay, I see that. That's because of the
Yeah.
shape of your face, I think.
What does that mean?
Well, the way you hold your face is really like,
Well, it's bright in here.
it's the same way my mom is always like
That's why
that.
I've been wearing sunglasses on the show. It's a lot nicer.
It is nice. I'm gonna do it. Do you want yours? Will this alienate you?
Home. What's that?
Will this alienate you?
Uh-uh.
Sometimes I feel
The
alienated.
theme today is aliens and alienation. It's
What was I talking about?
yeah.
Oh, she hit a Hasidic. No, she ran into a Hasidic Jew's car. He gets out and he's like, "Hey, can we?" He was like, "You hit my car," and she was like, "I'm so sorry." And he goes, "We can deal with this at my house." And she was like, "What?" And then they went to his house and he was like, "You can suck my dick and we'll call it even." And she told me that, and then I could never again. I mean, I would go to her class and she'd be like, "Get down into down dog," and I'd be like, "I don't trust you. I
Yeah.
don't trust anything else."
She blew a Hasidic.
That's
guy?
the worst person to blow. Okay, another story, and then it's your turn. Tyler Fisher. You know Tyler Fisher?
Yes.
He does a good Trump impression, Owen Wilson, and is like the anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. I
Very
mean, I've
funny.
met him once or twice. Yeah.
At the cellar last night or 2 nights ago, a homeless man ran at him, and then he dropped his phone, and then the guy we call Wheels, which is a man who's never stood up in his life. He has dreads that are becoming whole ecosystems of terror, okay?
Mhm.
He's disgusting, and we're always just like when you give him $1, you're like, yeah, you know? And Tyler was like, "Where's my phone? Where's my phone?" And he chased the other guy, and then Wheels like came up to him out of the darkness and was like, "I know where your phone is." And he was like, "Where is it?" And he goes, and he pulls it out of his penis,
Out of his
reaches
like a
into his
snake
pants,
eating in
a
reverse.
snake. And Tyler was like, "Do you want to hear this?" And I was like, "Yes, tell me what shape the phone was in." And he was like, "Slippery, wet, gunky."
Yeah.
And I was like immediately like, "Ugh." I could, and then he
Well, I'll
said,
finally get the vaccine now.
"Yes, now he needs it."
No, at least he'll get the vaccine.
Yeah, now he needs it.
Yeah.
And then he was like and then Wheels was like, "Give me money." And he was like, "Give him $1." And he was like, "More money." And he gave him $20.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Okay," gave him the phone. And then Tyler took a video of the guy the next day being like, "Hey, remember yesterday you stole my phone, you put it in your pants, da-da." And Wheels was just going like this. He's like, yes, 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 I do. And then Tyler's like, pretty up, and he goes, I was looking out for you. And I was like, I think he might believe that in his heart. You know what I mean?
In the wheels economy.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
This week's episode is brought to you once again by mybookie.ag. Guys, it is football season, I think, or it's coming up.
It has, dude. Men be getting literally coming in being like EAGLES, and you have to be like,
if you're a man and you like spelling,
it's so bad.
it is spelling time. It's time to spell those teams, boys. And if you like letters, I got a couple of them for you. mybookie.ag. Type that into your web browser and gamble. Gamble on your favorite letters. I would say it's crazy that we let nerds get away with the job title of webmaster. And that still persists.
It's crazy.
That there's a guy that's just like, I'm a webmaster.
Are there webmasters?
I think that might be gone now.
Yeah, I think
it's all managed by like a Salesforce team in India. Every website.
There's a lot of there's a lot of bad names. Stewardess?
Yeah, stewardess. Steward was always funny because then it made me think of the retarded guy from Mad TV. And like Mad TV, there's MyBookie. That's a George Carlin bit right there.
Really good.
You got Mad TV, you got MyBookie. What's next? Fucking HIV, HIV positive, HIV negative. The greatest comedian of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. MyBookie.ag, a sports betting website, but that's not all. You can bet on other things, like politics. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Horse races.
I would love. Yeah, I should get into gambling on horses. My grandfather would do that.
Really? But I think, is it abusive to them?
I don't care. I don't care.
Weren't you vegan?
Huh?
Weren't you vegan?
Yeah, but I'm not anymore.
You love animals.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't think it's abusive. I think horses love running.
When we passed the horses yesterday when we left here, you started crying.
I don't really think you can be abusive towards an animal bigger than us unless you do it with a gun.
What if their brain is a little thing attached to a giant silly body?
What do you mean?
Horses are just a tiny brain with a big dumb. I'm going horseback riding
I'm
tomorrow.
going to get in trouble for this. They're basically Native American.
Did you see the video of the horse fucking?
MyBookie.ag, you can bet on the horse races. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash out system give you options to bet and win all season long. The first two legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with odds, boosts, free bets, and super contests. I love the idea of a super contest. I don't know what that is. It's like a wet t-shirt contest, but then they also have swords. Maybe? I don't know. What's a super contest? Go to mybookie.ag and find out. This season, and this is new at MyBookie. So if you've been a long time listener, you say, yeah, I know about MyBookie. I've been listening to this dog shit for years. Well, listen up, you fucking moron. We got the new cash bonus system that lets you deposit and withdraw quick. Use promo code TAFS on a deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly to your MyBookie account. And you bet your deposit amount once, and you're ready to cash out anytime. So you bet that $50, and then you get the $200. From my understanding, you can just take the $200.
Yeah.
Free $200.
Free.
Yeah.
Zero cost.
I think it used to be a thing where like they'd give you up to $1,000 cash bonus, but then you had to gamble all that money. Like this one.
That seems fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That's a gift card. That's all that is.
Right, exactly. Again, that's promo code TAFS to claim your cash deposit bonus. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.ag, which is
agriculture.
Agriculture. It's hence the horses.
That's right.
Yeah, you can bet on the fattest cow at the fair.
Speaking of fat cows at the fair, me and Ian are going horseback riding tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't understand how you spend so much time with him. Not I mean, like, day-to-day stuff I get, but, like, anything that I have a limit. I don't think I could go with Ian to anything where I could see more enthusiasm that he's already bringing to any situation.
Okay, I'll tell you how. Because if I said to you, get away from me.
Like, oh my God, wow, an ashtray, wow. And I'm like, just take it down a notch. I can't
Because
imagine.
if I say
You
take
go
it
to a
down enough,
pumpkin
he has
patch
to.
Isn't this the best thing you've ever seen?
In Vegas with him, it was crazy. He's like, we're smoking inside. I'm like rapidly deteriorating down to my soul. Because also you can say to him, you can be like, I hate you and I need you to be quiet. And he's like, fair, fair, fair. And he'll put himself in a cage. Also, he's depressed right now, which is when we get along really well.
Yeah, how you doing, man? I've been doing real fucking bad. Next time you see him. Dude, I got a Rubik's Cube. I just bought 15 Rubik's Cubes.
You saw me just point to my lip and you're like, heard.
Yeah. I got it. No, definitely. It's a team effort. Dude, I was thinking about I've been getting into classic Tiger electronic handheld games. I just spent $18,000 on eBay. I got a whole box of them. We're going to turn them into a podcast studio. What do you mean? What does that mean? No, I don't think it's going to help if you have the only Lego-based podcast studio. Also, you're going to get sued. You can't have the Lego podcast where you're talking about sucking the entire cast of Orange is the New Black's cocks.
I guess Luke Moniz was telling a story last night about Joe List's AirPods getting stolen, and Ian was like, yawn. And Luke was like, sorry, it's not a story about you getting like raped by a thimble of cum or whatever. It is every time you talk to Ian, he's like, oh, yeah, I had sex with a lady last night who had a dick so big it ripped the back of my throat open.
I like that he like kind of, and it's very tempting for comedians to like brand themselves as like mental health people. Like the mental health sphere is such a like annoying thing. And then it's like annoying because like I'll get like people be like, dude, it's cool that you've like talked about. I'm like, just because it's a podcast, I have nothing else to talk about. I certainly don't want to brand myself as like somebody with mental illness.
And then do you get the parts at your show just fully?
Yeah, to me it's so different than being like, I have wrist pain, and then you're like, I've struggled with carpal tunnel, and to see that represented. I don't want to represent anything.
Yeah.
I want to get through the hour and talk about these Mexican aliens. That's it.
I have a lot of borderline girls coming out to my shows.
But Ian gets into the branding himself as like or not branding himself. I don't mean that seems unfair, but you know he does talk about mental health stuff.
More of the bisexuality.
Yeah, but it's the mental health. Like Ian, you should be fucked up. You know what I mean?
Like on drugs?
No, I don't mean fucked up on drugs, but like the catalyst for this mental illness is entirely valid. You know, it's like the mental health internet influencer ecosphere. It's made because it derives from like, you know, like the economy of white women inventing problems that don't exist to solve them. And
I see. You're having somebody who got basically like it's like if a meth head by his father was like, I have mental illness, you could too.
It's not
You're like,
Kristen Bell being like, make sure you're drinking enough water.
Yes.
Not, you know.
We both have that. People will be like, I'm just so glad that you have come together to make a podcast where you're sick people. And I'm like, yeah, we both had like the most horrendous, you know what I mean? Like we're not meditating to get through this. We're literally locking ourselves in a basement and losing oxygen.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, Ian. Hopefully that wasn't too critical.
He doesn't bill himself as that, but he gets billed as that because he says he has bipolar.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very like, hey man,
Nobody actually brands themselves as anything really. Do they?
There's a little bit of in the women's sphere of being like, I have this. It's okay to have this. It's fine. You know what I mean? I've seen women be like, I have, you know,
fibromyalgia.
There's OCD. I say that I have OCD, and there's a lot of comics who are like, I have OCD. But yeah, it's rare that somebody becomes the comic of.
Yeah, that's
except for Latino, which is a mental illness.
Where that you can just be like, I have that. That's me. I have that. I have OCD. I have autism. You can just say that.
The autism one. How many comics say they have autism and there's just zero? That Dan Lamort guy.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
start saying I have Alzheimer's.
yeah, that would be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That you could get out of so much.
Yeah. What's that?
Really good.
Yeah. There's too many blacks in here. And then people have to be like, he has Alzheimer's. And they're like,
That's great.
He's 34 years old. What do you mean he has Alzheimer's? He got the Johnson & Johnson.
I've been told a lot recently I have autism. Like Ian on the podcast was like, I'm hanging out with Toby, and I'm like, Toby with the dead girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, stop.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's because people do that to me. They're like, "Oh, you're like like I'm an autistic, comedian," and it's like I didn't say that. Like, and people just accuse me of it, and they say it to me to insult me, and then the insult is repeated to me by everyone.
They say you're autistic?
Yeah, people do. They assume I'm not autistic at all.
No, not autistic.
No,
He's a scary guy.
I'm just kind of rude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Mexican aliens. Let's talk about these old fuckers. Let's get into it.
It's so funny. Deb's gonna be like, "You're autistic." No, I'm just a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm just. I
I'm
don't
not
like
a
you.
bad guy. I don't think I'm a bad guy.
No
I
way.
resent that.
But rude is good. I'm a rude man.
I don't even think I'm particularly rude. I think I just have kind of maybe like a reserved affect, and it's from maybe just staring at screens too much.
You think?
Yeah.
No, I think there is a lack of. I have it too, where people are like, I'll say something, and people are like, "That's so mean," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just saying exact." You know what I think it is? I'll be like, "I'm just saying exactly what it is," because I'm a little too depressed and dissociated to like filter for anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I even. I think mainly the problem is my face.
Really?
Yeah. People tell me stuff, and then I'm like, right, yeah.
Oh.
I should just wear sunglasses all the time.
But isn't that because you're thinking about something else instead of what they're thinking?
No, I'm listening to them, but it is easy for me to go off on like tangents. But I am listening.
Huh.
I guess it's like, yeah, because I mean, I do fall into the problem where, like, when someone is just venting,
Mm.
and then you're like trying to find a solution, and it happens to me
Oh.
where I'll vent, and like somebody will offer, like, why don't you just do this? And she's like, shut up and just let me complain.
Yeah.
I don't want like an answer to this problem. I just want to bitch about it. I already know what the answer is.
When you're talking to women, that's when you zoom out, right? That's when you fall asleep in your brain.
No, I don't think so.
It might be. When I talk to women, sometimes I will take a brain nap on accident.
No, I think I am relatively engaged when I'm talking to, what I mean? Unless I'm tired. That's the thing is I'm not good. If I'm tired, then it's like it's nap time.
Yeah.
No matter who it is or what it is.
Can you perform tired?
Yeah, I kind of just black out when I go on stage anyways.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyways, today's episode is also brought to you by Fume. We discussed this last week. We're discussing it again. Actually, let me
Take it again.
We'll do a reset.
Because it reminds you of the thing that you really want.
No.
No.
Don't say that. Today's episode is also brought to you by Fume. Fume is pronounced fume. This is going to f me up every time I look at it. Fume. That's the thing. If I was just reading the word fume, I wouldn't have a problem. But when you say it's pronounced fume and then I read it like a pronunciation.
How do they spell how you pronounce it? F-U-M-E?
F-U-M-E. So I think fume.
Right, Fumiabi.
Yeah. Anyways, here's fume, right? And that's F umlaut over the U-M, pronounced fume. And what fume is it creates positive habits. So a lot of people have bad habits, right? And
Sucking air in through a tube.
yes,
Good habit.
Suck flavored air through a tube is a good habit. Look, I mean, let's say you to the copy today. Let's go. They have a description of every part in here. So we'll go one by one. An easy to clean steel body. I wish I had one of those on me, but this is good. Upright position line indicator. I didn't even see this, but that's the upright position.
What's upright about it?
Well, then the slot is here.
So gotcha.
In case, it's not going to fall out anyways, but maybe you're like, where the hell is the line? Now you can see the lines right there. You got an easy snapping core. I really do like the action on this this little spring. I'm like, just putting that in there that way. And like, all right, motherfucker, it's time to fume.
Does it feel like a syringe style or a gun style?
Gun style.
Let me try.
Feels like putting a little bullet in the.
Oh yeah, it pops in nice.
Yeah, it's made with real wood. I don't know what. Well, now this just smells like the fume stuff. I don't know what kind of wood this is. What do you think? Pine? Does that look like pine to you? It's a little hard. Can't be pine, right? That's got to be hard.
It might be treated pine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it looks like it's laser etched.
Definitely laser etched.
Yeah. Fume. Pretty cool stuff. The barrel clicks to indicate position, right? So you got this little this choke on the end. I don't think you put this in here right. There you go. No, that would have been misfire.
It would have. That would have Alec Baldwin.
If this had been your gun, you'd have pulled this out and pulled the trigger and
wielded it at my producer,
and then you would have been just brutally just beaten to death while being for having the audacity to pull that gun out.
Yeah.
Not even loaded proproperly.
Maybe it would scare them. Oh, I brought a big switchblade knife.
Next time you load this wrong, think about your demise in an alley somewhere. What are you looking for?
I'm going to show you my big knife.
Oh, yeah, nice. Bring the knife. We have a K-bar in the office.
A gay bar?
Yeah, gay bar, yeah. So you twist the barrel here, and that adjusts the flow rate. And then Jordan pointed this out last week. I was pulling it into my mouth and then inhaling afterwards. And that doesn't really seem to be the move with this thing. You want to open it up and then just breathe normally. Oh, that's cool.
I know.
That's probably super illegal here, huh?
Yeah, there's got some gunk on it. Motorcycle oil in it.
Does it have a spring release, or is it just like gravity?
Spring.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Don't get caught with this.
I know. Yeah. We're going camping, though. Joel Wachowski's dad, I forget his first name, brought that for me on the road.
Knife Wachowski.
Knife Wachowski, yeah. He is a Native American horse.
I'm Joel's dad! It's me! Joel's dad! Yeah, this thing's cool.
Isn't that neat?
That's cool.
It's heavy.
So, and you can combine these too. That's the thing that's great about fume is there's a lot of accessories here, like the knife, the official fume knife. Look at that. You want to look like the coolest motherfucker on the train?
The way your hand is?
Yeah. Yeah, just
that's
the
Ian's
NYPD
hand
coming up to you and saying you're under arrest, and you're like, for what? I'm not smoking. Send me to jail for what? Being the toughest guy on the train? I don't know about that, partner. I don't know about that. I'm fuming, boss. I ain't got time to go to jail. Anyways, now. Okay, so instead of electronics, fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, fume is good. It's a habit, and you're free to enjoy it, and it makes replacing your bad habit easy.
You're so good at reading it in the NPR voice. In the podcast.
You know I used to do VO for commercials.
Really?
Yeah. I had fun doing that.
Like what?
I really only ever got cast in a Geico ad, and then one other that I think did never air. I can't remember what it was, but I used to go audition all the time.
Wow.
It was way more fun than doing the on-camera auditions.
Yeah.
But real quick, yeah. So, and it's got this thing too, this fidget spinner kind of action on it. That's a lot of fun. Airflow dial, the same function. It makes it so that the choke on there. Anyways, yeah, I like this thing. Now that Jordan showed me how to actually use it, and I'm not trying to, pull it into my mouth and then, do the thing. It's okay. So stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Try Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. That's what you see here. There's condoms. different types of free condoms that you get at Pride. No, these are the flavor packs. They got the little tubes in there that go in this thing, and then it just it adds like some kind of oil or something that the air passes through. So you're not breathing in it; it's just the air. And then I guess because you know how your nose and your tongue are the same thing. It's that principle. It was how it works. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use code TAFS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com, and use code TAFS to save an additional 10% off your order today. And we are back. Now, let's get into these little fuckers.
Okay.
The little fuckers that could.
Did you look up stuff?
No, I guess I could. I seem to have lost.
I looked it up and they found 2.
Lost my damn phone here.
One of the aliens is pregnant.
It's
Not
pregnant?
is, was.
No, they found eggs inside of it.
Eggs?
Yeah.
They found
the fetus inside the alien?
Isn't it weird that chickens' periods is just an egg? Crazy.
Yeah. Hold on.
They'll sit on them to try and make them babies, but it's just them sitting on period.
Mexican alien.
This is nice.
Yeah. I feel like the reason this story came out is just the Google results when conservatives are looking for illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. They were sick of being called aliens.
I mean, this thing is, this looks like a shitty Halloween decoration. This has to be like just some like retarded congressman and sorry, never mind. Bleep that, Ginsburg.
You can't say retard?
I don't want to.
Retard is it's like colloquial now. It's like retards are saying retard.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to. This has got to be just a moron. This is a guy from like a congressional district with 9 people in it.
Yeah.
You know, he's like this beloved member of the community that probably owns like a shaved ice truck, and they're like, "We're sending Pablo to Congress."
Yeah.
And then he's there, and he's like, "Look, I found an alien."
But he talks way louder.
And then everybody in Congress, in Mexican Congress, is like, "Yeah, this is basically our Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is like our dumbest Congress man." You know, like this can't be.
Well, and they had somebody look at it from the, like, if you look it up, it's like the alien investigations. It's like some guy with like.
It's very racist to assume that Mexican Congress is taking this seriously. You know what I mean? There's no way that.
It looks like they really are. It looks like they're being like, we have this thing, okay?
Yeah, because it's their Congress is probably like our Congress, and it's like, great, we don't have to work for the next hour. We'll just let this dumbass talk about aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he talked about it in Congress? He went in and set it up on a little table?
Yeah.
This is my little guy.
They've been displayed, the Mexican politicians. Oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that a congressional representative brought the alien in and was like, you know, for show and tell. They have show and tell there.
I think they did.
No, it was too small. All right, from Cusco, Peru, represented. It wasn't even their alien. It was from Peru.
Yeah, but they had him because they spoke Spanish.
Yes, yeah, UFO. It was spearheaded by a journalist and ufologist.
They need to make that a better word.
They do.
It's bad.
Definitely not webmaster though.
Also, you can't combine O and ologist. You know what I mean? That's like a weird branding thing.
I'm an ufologist.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to offer my sincerest apology for. I'm not trying to be an alien ufologist. I think what they're doing is wrong. But Jamie Masson, who testified under oath that the mummified specimens are not part of our terrestrial evolution, with almost a third of their DNA remaining unknown. Okay, so they have a way to extract DNA from these things.
But the DNA is unknown.
It looks like it's, well, I don't know.
Can't you extract DNA from a t-shirt?
Can you?
I think so.
All right.
Couldn't you be like, what is this? And you extract, I don't know.
I mean, if you go to Reddit, I'm sure someone can explain why this is like the dumbest thing in the world.
Ginsburg, you look like a Reddit guy.
But it's also like, how are these new? You know what I mean? All right, anyways. There's been studied by science. Ooh. I just got a hankering for a big old slice of pepperoni pizza.
I know. I've been craving pizza all the time.
But pepperoni specifically, I don't know. Like, 'cause,
That's
you know,
crazy.
we live in New York, folks. We live in New York.
Reddit.
We can get pizza whenever we want. And, you know, occasionally I'm like, oh, I'll just get a slice of pizza. But something about a craving for pepperoni pizza in particular, when you're like, I need a slice of pepperoni,
Yeah.
is that's a really good feeling.
You follow that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I often don't get the pepperoni pizza because right now I'm dealing with 2 canker sores.
I was laughing today about a guy walking by me and being like, I was thinking about your canker sores. Like a guy was like, hey, smile. And then if I was like, oh, I can't, I actually have 2 herpes sores that are gaping and oozing. And if I smile, I'll crack them open. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And that might deter him.
Yeah.
I try that stuff all the time. A guy followed me home and I picked up, Harry called me and I picked up and was like, hey, I just smeared in my pussy
Yeah.
to get the guy away.
Hello. It's the AIDS doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
They always
It's good
say.
to hear from you again. It's the pussy knives doctor. I still have knives in my pussy, huh? That's a shame.
When people tell stories about people, they always go like this. They're like, oh, anyway, so I was talking to Nick Mullen and I went in and I was like, hey,
Who told
nobody.
this story?
Huh?
Somebody told you this story?
No, this is just
I
what
wasn't
everybody
talking-
says.
I was not talking to anyone, to make that clear.
It's just like anytime somebody does a pretend story or they're reenacting a story, they're always like, yeah, and I was talking to him and I was like, hey, just notice it now. You'll see it everywhere. And you'll be like, you didn't sing hey to that person before you said something.
Yeah.
Every time. Hey, it's Jordan. It's not real.
Well, I told you, and maybe it's rude to out him on the show, but I don't care. But Adam sent me his like research notes for the last interview
Yeah.
to print out for him so he could like prepare. And it was very cute. But he wrote, hey, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us into his cue cards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, written down.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a baby.
Mm-hmm. I remember before I even did stand up, like that's how I would like write material. I would like write out a
No
set
way,
and,
really?
like, yeah. Oh, hey, thanks for having me.
Wow.
I'd write out long form piece of paper, like imagining what it would be like. No, yeah, I'll memorize this. And then never again. Once you
Oh yeah,
start
the
doing,
memorizing thing. I remember
once you start doing stand up, it's like, oh yeah, there's no actual writing that happens. There's no physical act of writing.
No, there's bullets that you write in your phone that are chaotic.
Yeah, I've
And
never written out anything. Yeah, it was always like you would just have the whole joke in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, here's a roadmap, and then I figure out how to say it, and then that'll exist as one word, regardless of the length of the bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have cues. I have one on my phone I just opened. I don't know what it means, but it just said, I love bus.
I love boss.
And I was like, thanks, Jordan. That's great. Sometimes I could write it out a little bit more than that. I love bus.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that that's going to open like a knowledge hole and I'll unravel.
It's surprising that more people don't try to write children's books.
I think people do. Have you been to a children's bookstore? It's like millions of books.
No, but the children's books now are like
I'll kill myself
hey,
if you don't
little
go to sleep.
boss, this
Yeah.
is why Donald Trump ain't YOLO. You know, it's like, what the fuck is this? It's a political content for like somebody that still shits in their pants.
Yeah.
They don't need to have opinions yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's what drives me crazy. Like, people get mad about like children's gender identities or whatever. They're like, oh, you can't let a child make those decisions at 5 years old. And it's like, yeah, but that whole issue is fraud. So I'm just not going to have an opinion on that. Let the chips fall where they may. But like turning your fucking toddler into a resistance baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's like that's, and I guess they already do that with baby shit. Honestly, that's kind of embarrassing to
The
project
resistance
onto
baby.
a 2-year-old and be like, oh well, he loves Minnie Mouse. He loves Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It's like,
What about when they
you
just
didn't
pierce
ask
their
him, you
ears?
just
That's the
told
same
him.
as a trans baby to me.
What?
When they pierce their ears.
Oh, is that bad?
I think it's bad.
Why?
You're puncturing a tiny little baby's fresh. I think circumcision is not great.
Yeah.
decorating your baby? You might as well
See,
tattoo it.
if I had a son, I would get them circumcised.
I would get them tattooed.
I would get them circumcised because I feel like at this point, then that would be kind of punk rock.
To circumcise?
I don't know.
I think you leave that's punk rock.
I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the
Yeah, I don't want to be like every other parent. You know?
I think everybody circumcises. I think it comes down, every woman goes.
I think they're not doing it anymore.
Like doctors?
No, I mean like parents, young parents.
I think it's rude to assume that a person won't be able to clean their dick skin. That seems insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Well, why not just get their asshole removed?
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Can you just bring it to the outside?
I did just get my asshole waxed for the first time in my life.
Really?
You know what she said? She goes,
Was that on the menu at the spa?
Yeah, it's a Brazilian. I thought Brazilian meant triangle. I don't know why. I think Bermuda. I don't know what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, time for the butt strip. And I was like, please don't do this. And she was like, oh, you want to just leave that? And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
And then I got on my hands and knees and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm giving you my butthole. And she was like, no. And she was like pulling me and she was like, and I was like, please don't make me do this. And she was like, on your back with your knees to your ears. And I was like, this is a baby getting his diaper changed? I can't do this.
Yeah.
But she did do it. It was
How
crazy.
was it?
I was really sweaty. Like it's like scary and clammy. I also thought the lights would be dim, but they were like elementary school lights.
Getting your asshole waxed? Who's gonna be like, wow, your asshole looks amazing?
Okay, because because all my friends were like, you should wax, it's better. So I was like, I'll try it. And then once you wax everything, you're like, I can't just leave like a little detective mustache in the back.
Why not?
You're right.
Why not? Why?
But also when you're doing doggy, it is nice to know that it's just clear and smooth back there. I want it bleached. I think everybody starting at the age of 5 should get their asshole bleached annually. Annually and anally.
Yeah.
Because think about it just bleaches all the poop that you've ever accumulated, all the stain.
I was reading today about like it was like an article about research into, and I don't really know anything about this, but the epigenomes.
Epigenetics?
Epigenetic, maybe it is epigenetics. Or like epigesomes or something. I don't know. It's some shit on the outside of the cell that like contains some kind of information. And it's not basically the thrust of the thing was about how they had like research into like anti-aging stuff, and they can take mice and they can do something and edit this part of the cell that actually reverses their aging process, makes them like age in reverse, and they can
Like Benjamin Button?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, restore youthfulness in mice, and then.
But do they go back to be babies?
And they can they can stop it at a specific point. And then they could also speed it up. So they take the mice and make them age rapidly, and their hair goes gray, and they get f***ed up, but they can like go back and forth in this research. And then like the next step is figuring out, can you do it to primates and then eventually humans or whatever. And then I forget how this started or why I was looking this up. And then I started just sort of fantasizing about myself being an immortal.
Yeah.
And then just being, castle, piano.
You seem like a guy who could be.
But that's the thing.
It's the long hair.
I still wouldn't have a castle from the 1400s. You know what I mean? It's like you fantasize about like, what if we had medicine where I could be immortal? And that's like, and then what? I just eat Chex Mix for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Do yoga in your apartment.
Right, exactly. It's like nobody, and it's funny because you think about like.
What if you could make your pet immortal? You could have an immortal pet and you're immortal. That might be
good. Maybe. My cat's getting old now. She was already kind of old.
She was old when I met her.
Yeah, and she's like starting to slow down a little bit. It makes me sad all the time.
She's the best.
I go sit down by her and I'm like, do you need anything?
I think they leave to die, which I think is really cool. Like they hide and you can find them in crawl spaces dead.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I don't know. Now I'm sad. Yeah, I would get that. I would get the surgery, the pill. I have no idea. I read about this stuff. They tell you all this stuff that doctors are doing. And then I'm like, but how, like, what is a gene? Like, what do you mean you're editing the gene?
Yes, like this? Like
Yeah, it's a
Ginsburg back
computer
there?
hooked up to a microwave, and then you put the mouse in it,
Yeah.
and there's a beep, beep,
I'm
beep.
literally imagining you cutting him open,
Yeah.
grabbing a gene, which is a kidney bean,
Yeah, right, yeah.
taking its skin off and putting it into like a scanner and then changing the
Yeah,
skin and putting it
right.
on.
I have no idea, like, what the actual process is. I guess it's gotta be like some kinda chemical that they eat or
A
something.
telescope, definitely telescopes.
Yeah.
Petri dish, things
Mhm.
split.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. But damn, why did I bring that up? What was I thinking about? There was something funny that tangent went on when I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's funny." But
What
no,
were we talking about before?
gene editing.
But what was I saying that led you to talk about the gene editing?
Oh, you know what? I'm just saying how they present those like articles as if like this is right down the pipeline, but it's like, yeah, I mean, you can't get rid of wrinkles, really. It's like, and there's whole industry. There's still literal like snake oil industries that are.
What about balding?
That's
That's
what
like a
Sephora is.
atrocious thing.
Sephora is basically a guy on the back of like a horse cart
Yes.
in
Yeah.
1880, being like, a magic elixir that will take your vitality back to what it was in
Yeah.
your younger days. And it's just like women spending like $500 a month
Yeah.
to
Bringing a
look
14-year-old out
to
and be
look
like, she's
slightly
108.
to look slightly less Armenian. That's
What
what
about
you get.
what about this thing? The lip thing is out of control. They
Yeah.
gotta do they not know what it looks like? That it looks insane when they do the thing?
I have no idea.
They get addicted to it, I think.
Yeah, what
I
is
just
that?
found out all my friends are doing Botox except for me, every one of them.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
And then it makes you feel like you have to. That's the other thing with trans women is they get so much surgery that you start being like, if you're a woman, you made yourself into a woman, and I'm a woman. Do I have to keep up with you and get those big fat titties?
You don't have to keep up with anybody. That's the best part about getting older is like you just stop. Are we the same age? You 34?
32.
32. You just stop giving a shit.
It's kind of
right
nice.
around there. You just like, I don't give a
Yeah, just
at
wearing
all.
the most comfortable thing. It is nice.
Yeah.
But that asshole waxing, I will say, I think you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels great when you're in the shower and when you have to scratch your butt hairs to get them all clean. You don't really have to do that.
No.
You never get in there with your.
No, I just sit on the edge of the tub, and I kind of just like a slot car, just do laps.
Oh, squeaking
Yeah.
around, squeaking
Yeah,
around. Okay.
I just do laps around the edge of the tub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
With your cat watching just.
like a little roller coaster. And I have a hat that looks like Thomas the Tank Engine on the top. I have Thomas the Tank Engine's body and my face inserts in the front, and the rest of the train kind of hangs off the back.
Oh, I got you. The whole thing that moves with you.
Yeah. And then once I'm finished, then I turn the shower on. I let it clean up the tub. I don't actually touch the water.
Your tub is made of soap.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The water itself would be bad for my fresh coat of paint that Mr. Topham had provided to me for getting the freight deliveries, to their destinations on time.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I see. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I scratch my little butthole hair,
Mhm.
but not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like when I was a kid and I'd use my dad's shower, there'd always be hair on the soap. And
Oh,
it's because he would put the
Yeah.
soap in his ass. It's like just at least wash the soap. I don't know.
No, and you can get it good. You can get it so it has like, if this is the soap, it has like almost like a point, so you can really f yourself with it to really get in there. That's the move.
Mm-mm.
I used to be that person, but now I'm a Dr. Bronner scratchy.
Oh, you use Dr. Brown?
Yeah, just the burn
Yeah.
really
Some
hurts.
menthol for your whole
Really
body.
feels bad
Yeah.
for a while.
I used that for a while just because I like reading them, but it gave me something to do in the shower. But then, now you can bring your phone in there. So I just do that.
Do you bring your phone in the shower?
I have brought every phone in the shower since the iPhone 6. And
You read it while you're bathing,
yeah, just for a shower. Yeah.
showering?
And then, but I don't shower very long. And I take cold showers too. So I'm just like,
Those are good.
yeah, I'm just in and out.
I want them to get colder. Now I've gotten used to them and it feels.
In the wintertime, it's nice. When we used to pre-record Come Town and we'd go to the Berkshires. I'll miss those days. Those were nice. Cabin week. Yeah, we'd stay up in the Berkshires and be frigid. And, like an old cabin with like frozen pipes and just doing blow all night till like 4 a.m., sleeping for 2 hours. and then getting up and hitting an ice cold fucking shower, and
Yeah.
jumping rope for an hour.
You would jump rope for an hour after Coke with your little mouse heart.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oof.
I think that's really what did the damage.
All these girls were doing Coke with, not, I wasn't doing it, but they were doing it. And women do this thing where they lock you into a conversation. And first they do the like, come into the bathroom, come into the bathroom, come into the bathroom. And you have to go in there. And then they talk to you in a way that you can't stop them. You can't stop what they're saying and you can never get out of the conversation. And it's like if a snake was going into your mouth, coming out going back into your mouth, and you can't get the end of it forever and ever. That's how it feels.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I don't.
With men, it'd be fun.
I'm glad I don't do drugs anymore.
I know the feeling of
It's
the birds.
depressing when you finally get sober and you think about all the time that you were having fun.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's just sucks. I'm just like sad. I feel bad for myself and my friends.
Totally.
Yeah.
The 10 a.m., the looking and realizing it's 10 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, I only once or twice let it get that bad because I mean, I really didn't do drugs outside of like the second year of COVID, and that's because it was just like it was everywhere here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bars were still closed, and it was just you go to there'd be 15 people in a studio apartment, and
so many drugs on COVID. I had to drive my friend just near the ambulance just because he was freaking out, and I was like, it wasn't going on, we would just go to a place where loud music would play and you'd feel fine. But us just sitting here looking into our fucked up pupils is like obviously giving you a panic attack. I don't know why Coke was so big. I did it too during COVID.
Yeah.
That's when I
No, it
quit.
was just everywhere. I don't know who did that, but yeah, no, I had a year, 2021, I guess. But yeah, that year it got, well, not, it wasn't like I was smoking crack or anything, but more than twice a week, I think is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting really into bowling. I was doing Coke and then I'd go bowling for hours.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know. And I would be so good at bowling on Coke, and then the second I wasn't on Coke, I would suck immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it was the most, because everybody else would be drinking and partying, and I was like, I don't drink, but I do Coke all night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing to do.
Yeah, well, that was my problem. That's why, I couldn't drink either. It's like, I mean, I also can't, it's the same, I just have a problem with consumption.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I will do it with literally like I'll do it with baker's chocolate.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, and something that's disgusting, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I could just sit there and just keep doing drugs.
I get the dips between the dip bumps. I would fall into a pit of despair and I'll call people and be like, we need to get as many bags here as possible, because the idea of coming down ever is a nightmare. Some people don't have that. I have that bad.
No, I would get to the end of the night and be like, okay, I'm done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'll have to kill myself if we're done.
No, but that's all depressing. But whatever. Life goes on. I got my yoga now,
and people our age are doing it all the time. We're not. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just depressing because it's like I try to take care of myself. I've tried to take care of myself for a long time, and I've like had periods where I'd stop drinking and get into exercise and clean up my diet, and I feel better, and like I'm mentally doing better because I have some kind of like structure. And it's like, wow, I'll just hold on to this. This feels good. I guess the depressing thing is I think about that and knowing these like cycles. It's like, well, what's good? You know what's funny? When I first met Ian, I hadn't drank for 18 months or something like that. And we met at Stand Up. What was the one that was in Long Island City that was like the other
Creek in the Cave?
standing room?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We met at the standing room, or maybe we met a couple times. It was the first time I like hung with Ian. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't drink. I've been sober for X amount of time. He's like, oh yeah, that's really good. He's like, I'm sober again recently too. And I was like, oh, like again? Like you quit? He's like, yeah. And he told me that story where he fell off the wagon at the airport and was drinking hand sanitizer and then went to a club trying to buy crack. And
butt crack, not crack.
Yeah, and I was like, how long were you sober? And he was like, about 18 months. And like it just shocked me because I had felt like at that time, having 18 months, I was like, oh, I'm free. I'm like, no, I don't have to worry about this anymore. But then I was like shocked last year. I didn't drink for 9 years.
Oh, really?
And then I started drinking again. And luckily it like ended before anything really bad happened. It was just, I got drunk 3 nights in a row and I had like a 2-day hangover. And
so what was the catalyst for drinking again?
Yeah, like a lot of things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I was around for it, but it is weird how it just works. How it's like you can just slip it back in slowly and people just adjust around you. You know what I mean?
What, drinking again?
Well, it just feels like if I started drinking again, it feels like every day of my life would be like, "My God, Jordan, are you all right?" You know what I mean? And they would
Yeah.
take me into a psych ward. But it's not true. Like my buddies all the time are like, "Do you want?" Oh, sorry, I forgot. And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Wow,
yeah.
I could just
Yeah.
drink again."
Did you quit drinking recently or what?
I quit drinking. I haven't drank the whole time when you were out of it and back into it. So it's been like maybe almost 2 years since
Oh,
I
that's
got into
good.
the cellar because I had quit drinking and I got into the cellar and I like had a glass of wine to be like, and I didn't like it, so I just
Yeah.
stopped forever.
Well, I said I was like sober for 9 years, but I was doing drugs that entire time. Just
Yes.
not frequently.
Yeah.
Initially, not frequently. Because I was, it's funny, it was Adam. Because when me and him hung a lot in DC, but then we came up here, I would hang out with him a lot more because he was like, one of my only friends. And yeah, I was never like a Coke guy prior to that. I didn't know any Coke guys. And then Adam was always like, "Where's the bag, dude? Let's get a bounce. Should call a guy. Should we
He
call a
would
guy?"
be wet man
Yeah.
with dry bag.
Yeah, he's like, should we call a guy? You know?
Yeah.
And then it would be like I remember thinking like if you did Coke more than I might think of it, if you did it more than once in a 3-month period, you had a problem.
Yeah.
That was like my thinking on it.
Yeah. And then it becomes more than 3 times a week and you have a problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I remember telling my mom, I
That was a
remember
long
slipping it out and being like, I have a Coke problem.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah.
It was like a 6-year thing. You like it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because it was like the only thing that I would do. I mean, 6 years in terms of like how long it took to build up until it was more than just once or twice a year.
Also, it's like an Ovaltine for relationships. Like if you're dating somebody and you both are doing Coke together, you just like love bond over being so f***ed up. And then anytime you're not on Coke, you're like, I think I hate this person, so you just do Coke again.
Yeah, that's dangerous. I've never been in one of those situations where things have been like just drug based.
Yes, I've done it once.
Yeah,
And it stayed in it for a while.
Makes me.
And then when I
sad.
quit, he was like, we never do anything together like bowl. And I'm like, yeah, I think I hate bowling.
Yeah.
I think I was just on drugs and didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah. Just didn't like. Damn. I wish we hadn't switched to this topic, but whatever. I got a new lease on life now. I've been actually sober for 4 months.
That's great.
Yeah. And
That is great.
The show's a lot of fun. I'm off
You
to
look
the
better and healthy and are way more present.
No, thanks. Yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah, the shows, we're having a lot of fun with it. We had fun. Me and Ginsey had fun this weekend shooting stuff. That's all wrapped up. Ginsburg I think we'll have the next episode of the Adam Friedland the Adam Friedland show, the actual product out. I don't want to be over promised, but Ginsburg, what do you think we'll have like a rough assembly done by? Probably the end of the week, huh? And then it's just cleaning up that opening. Yeah, all right. So realistically, the middle of next week, and then and then we have now. What do we have? How many interviews do we have just in the bag now? 4, 5? Yeah. So we can just now we can just focus on shooting like the other stuff.
So what is
And
this?
then what?
What is this?
This is just a podcast.
This is audio.
This is the Adam. No, this goes on YouTube, but this is the Adam Friedland Show podcast. And then,
And then the talk show will be Neil deGrasse Tyson type people.
Yeah, those types of things. The talk show is ideally what the talk show is there's, I mean, if we can get to the point where we have, I mean, we sort of like approximated it like some kind of like little like narrative thing that weaves in and out of the talk show. But ideal, I mean, I had to sum it up. It's like sort of like, not Larry Sanders, but you have a scripted thing about a talk show but then there's also actually a talk show.
Okay, Dracula is scripted thing about talk show, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson is talk show,
exactly.
but it's all one episode.
It's all one episode.
Okay.
Yeah. And then ideally the scripted things would get bigger and bigger, and that's what's fun for us because it's like we even in 6 years of podcasting, we still didn't really know what all the buttons on the recorder did. So
Yeah.
This is like a huge, and we're very lucky and spoiled almost to be in a position where we can like figure out how to like shoot things and, like make them come together by asking Ginsberg to help us.
Yeah.
You know. But,
Well, Ginsberg, what is your background? Swedish? Just kidding. I mean, your background. Obviously, you're a big Jew.
He's a filmmaker.
I know you're a Jew.
Yeah.
You're a filmmaker?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's our editor, but you know he can do he can do anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
Where'd you get him?
Well, honestly, probably you can thank cocaine for that.
Nice.
Yeah, all the drug use. It's like that's how I guess getting ingratiated into the
Full circle.
Yeah, the film scene here, or I guess whatever you would call it.
Where you meet and you're like, we need a guy like you.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's like New York is such a big city, and then the like certain aspects of it, like cultural exports of it, they get represented like, you know, I mean, like the easiest example is all the like dime square stuff, right? Like so, and you probably
Yes.
but people
You are the one who told me about that.
you see stuff online, and it makes it seem like there's this like kind of like cohesive, like deliberate aesthetic that's being created. You know, like this is a project, when in reality it's like the things that are made here in like media or on the internet or for culture just have a leg up because it is New York.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not necessarily meaning that it's better. It's just there's more people doing like certain things that have overlap here, so they build up steam, and then it's distributed, you know, kind of like globally or through the internet or whatever. And then externally, yeah, it looks like there's more happening than there actually is. When in reality, like whatever you do with it, I don't know about music in New York, but certainly, you know, it's like comedy. It's like it's just a bunch of people doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I wonder why they don't make
really
something with all
articulating the point I'm trying to make. But
I think it's cool to call things projects.
Yeah.
Like just me in a room with a podcast, the Jordan Jensen Project, and it does give an entire aura of something.
Right, like you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I went to a fashion show last night.
What?
I don't know. I just got an email for this fashion show.
What'd you wear?
Well, you don't wear. I just wore this.
Oh yeah, you're sitting watching.
Same clothes. Yeah.
Did people take pictures of you?
No, I wasn't in the fashion.
I know, but when people sitting and they're like, Nick Mullen.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just went there and I didn't know, and I ran into Eli, who's Anna Katchian's boyfriend.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't think they're married. I think it's just her boyfriend. I saw him there. I was like, oh, hey, it's nice to see a familiar face. I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I don't know. I just got an email. And then I watched this fashion show, and it's like there's like a fashion world, presumably, but then it's just people doing something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
yes,
I sound like a schizophrenic. It's
no,
like,
I know what you mean. Now I know what you mean by it. Yes, like it looks like there's an entire When I think of Fashion Week, I'm like, oh, the Epcot of fashion is coming to New York. But that's not what it is. It's nobody pulled up on their like carnival trolleys and like everybody get out.
Yeah.
You know, we had to pack up Fashion World.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, the best example is like you think about Hollywood in LA. And like
yes.
What Hollywood means, and as a kid, you're like, well, there's spotlights all the time, and there's like, you know, palm trees and limousines. And then actual Hollywood itself is like a slum.
It's a slum. It's a slum, yeah.
It's a slum filled with Brandon Wardells.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And homeless guys with no shirts on but feather boas.
Right. And then there's a big concrete 5-block by 5-block wall.
Yeah.
And inside that wall, there's an airplane hangar. And inside that airplane hangar, they make like these massive movies that like seem real and have this like big
and
scale.
In those movies they make it look like Hollywood is a big thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. Sorry, I have Alzheimer's.
I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
They know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean where you meet somebody. It is the whole synchronicity thing that we've talked about before where you're like, oh yeah, it isn't like a stumbling upon something that is like there isn't like an infinite amount of things. And if I see these 3 things, that's insane. It's like, oh no, everything is like there's barely anything out there. So you're going to see these 3 things because everything is that's what growing old is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching a movie and I was like, I've been to that place, and then it panned past the Comedy Store and I was like, I'm literally performing there tonight. And then the guy was like, I'm from Riverdale. And I was like, my feature who's here with me is from Riverdale. And I was like, oh, that's what aging is you just are accumulating. That's why old people want to like bird watch, because they're just like, show me something that I haven't seen, because there's just not that much
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in New York and LA, where it looks like there's like exponential worlds.
I know, yeah, and I get it. And it's like, I mean, Louis had that bit about, seeing somebody that's like recast in your life or whatever.
Oh, that's a good bit. I
Um,
forgot about that. He just
but
texted me.
I have a thing now where I'll just stare at people in public because I'm like, I know who that is, and I'll stare at them, and it's just somebody with like a face I've seen.
Yeah, but then if you ask their name, sometimes it's
No,
the
I
same
don't.
name.
But I can't.
You can't be like, what's your name?
I can't just stare at people. You know what I mean?
No, I saw a girl the other day and she looked so much like this girl, Emily, that I grew up with. And then the person was like, Emily. And I was like, is that just because people see that little baby face and like, that's an Emily face? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess it all comes back to the aliens thing. Put a bow on it.
yeah.
It's like, what if we guessed what aliens look like because, like, there is just limited possibilities
Yeah.
that the universe is not actually infinite, that it's infinitely small. It's actually much smaller than even a gene.
Yeah. But then somebody shows me a picture of like Arches, Utah. And I'm like, what is this place is huge. This place is unfathomable.
Utah is what a waste.
Yeah.
What a waste, Utah.
Crazy.
It's like some of the most beautiful stuff in the world, and then
Same with Nevada. Same with
every guy there is like, yeah, my name's Strawberry. I'm the CEO of Coffee X.
yeah.
It's a coffee shop, but we also do fair trade.
Backpacks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just screen print, the shittiest screen printed heather, sunset orange.
Yes, yes.
Like
Geometric. It has the geometric letters that make up his name.
A vector of a bear.
Yeah.
And then we sell snowboards and coffee.
And all the women have botanical tattoos of like.
Right, craft brews inspired by 2014 Instagram filters.
Yeah.
And they all taste like soap.
Yeah. And they have pictures of the golden ratio just like printed out and put in frames.
Yeah. And that's the entire culture of Utah. Do they have Native Americans there?
Yeah.
In Utah?
They have casinos.
Yeah.
Run by Native Americans.
What is it, Navajos?
Apache? I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, thanks for joining us this week, folks, on the Jordan Jensen Show. We will be back to our regular scheduled programming next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess the only other thing to plug is New York Comedy Fest. Me and Adam will be there.
I'll be there at the stand headlining. I'm plugging the half hour. If you don't watch it, it's going to be bad for you. Things are going to happen really bad for you. Yeah, half hour on my YouTube.
Desperate crunch to release our comedy specials, so we can.
Mine's only half hour, so you don't even have to commit that long to it, like some people.
I'm sure it's very good.
I
haven't watched it. Jordan's a very good comedian.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
I should have sent it to you. I should send you half hour.
Yeah, do it.
That felt good. The lights going off.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. Just thinking about all that drug.